Hello and welcome to Simlify. My name is Amy and today we are building a bowling lounge. Now the reason I did not call this a bowling alley is because when I was building this I couldn't remember how to spell alley. That's really the real reason. I mean, aside from the fact that I also made it a lounge, so the lot type is a lounge because then other Sims will actually show up. So originally I had this as a generic lot, but those of you who have done that before will probably know that other Sims don't really show up, so not really great for gameplay, and I wanted this to be fun for gameplay. So yeah, I really enjoyed building this. Little bit embarrassed about forgetting how to spell the word alley. I do have an English degree, but spelling is not my forte. Don't worry, I do know how to spell it now. So I really liked the idea of having this kind of mezzanine level with a bar in it, but I should have thought of that first before I started building it, because as you can see I was having trouble with kind of the room feature, which meant that I had to build in the floors and the roofs again, but it was fine. We get there. So the downstairs is going to be is the bowling alley part, and upstairs is the bar area. So I guess the idea would be that after you've had a game or a couple of games, you could go upstairs to the bar and have a drink and a chat with friends, have some food, or you could go and do that first while you're waiting for Elaine. So you could have lots of Sims on the lot and they'd all have something to do to entertain them. I really wanted to make a feature out of these Skittles, so I kind of sized them up and down there, and used that really nice green fence. It's kind of like I think it's like a playpen fence from the toddler stuff, I think. So I wanted this build to be very colourful, kind of. There's a little bit, I guess, of kind of like 70s, 80s inspired inside. You'll probably see from like the patterns and the colours that I've used, but I just wanted it to be really colourful and really fun. So I've used things like the tiles on the floor, which are this crazy orange pattern that may hurt your eyes if you look at it for too long, and I do the same with the walls, which you'll see in a bit. And I didn't want all of the bowling alleys to be the same colour. I wanted to have these kind of juxtaposing colours, so the blue and the orange, because they are opposites on the colour wheel and I really like blue and orange together. You may see it in some of my other builds. And I really liked lots of the things we got with the bowling pack, lots of the build items and buy items as well, including these little bowling balls, and there were some really good swatches for these as well, so you can have a couple of racks of them and there'll be different kind of placements of the bowling balls on them, which I thought was nice because you didn't just want a whole wall that all looked the same. That would be quite boring. So I was just keeping up with the theme of having it very colourful with the sofas and things there. You saw that I was trying to divide it up with the bowling balls, and then I decided that really wasn't working. Spent a little while on that actually until I finally got it where I wanted to, but as those of you who build in The Sims will know, that can happen quite often, where you are working on something really, really small and I guess kind of insignificant in long term, but you spend so long on it because you just cannot make up your mind and it just won't look exactly how you want it to. So here you can see me using this wallpaper, which to be honest, I don't think I have ever used before in The Sims 4. I really don't. I think it's just a little bit too loud. I'm pretty sure it's from the base game. So I've used the grey colour because I thought that was kind of a bit more understated. And then just throwing in some of this artwork that came with the bowling pack as well. I was a little bit concerned at first that I'd made this build a bit too big, but I was really happy with how it turned out. We've just got some leaderboards there. I thought it would be good to have 3 leaderboards because there are 3 bowling alleys, so maybe they could have 1 per alley, and people want to go on certain alleys so they can beat certain scores. And then I was just putting in the shoes as well. I decided that we had this space kind of behind the staircase which I needed to utilise, so I decided to put the rows of shoes there. Obviously the Sims don't actually need to use them, so really they're just more of a decoration feature, but I really liked those. and just trying to find colours that worked. Really went for this kind of blue, green, pink, going again with the very bold colour choices in this build. I wonder what you all think of the bowling pack. Do you have it? Let me know in the comments below. Do you not have it? If you do have it, do you enjoy it? Do you really use the gameplay aspect of it, or do you like it for the build and buy items? I haven't had it for that long, so I've really enjoyed using the bowling aspect, and actually I've been using this build in my play as well. So I don't know, maybe eventually I'll get bored of it, but I feel really sorry for the Sims 4 team, honestly, some of the time, because we always want more. As Simmers, we always want what we don't have. And I think that one of the things that happens is when they bring out certain packs, whether they're expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs, there's always something missing that people want, and then we play it so much, we then get bored of it, want to move on to the next thing. We are very fickle gamers, I feel. So I do kind of feel for them in that respect. They do an amazing job, obviously. And you think about some of the things that I'm kind of missing in The Sims 4, you know, like it's very well known that people want curved stairs and to be able to do kind of split level stairs so you can make like an L shape. Terrain tools obviously only just came back, but lots of people were missing those to begin with, and I don't know for sure, but I assume that a lot of it has to do with the fact that earlier Sims games, especially, was it The Sims 2 or The Sims 3? I think it was The Sims 3 for me, were so difficult for certain computers to run. I could not run The Sims 3 on my computer. With the base game, that was hard enough, but if I tried to install an expansion pack, that was it. There was way too much going on in the game for my computer to handle, and it's interesting because I wonder now if I went back and played The Sims 3 on, you know, a computer that I've got now that's a bit more updated, if that would be able to run it better. So I think that was a problem for a lot of people with some earlier Sims games. I've read that that's been a problem for other people, so I think that the Sims 4 team did such a good job at working out what would be playable and what was feasible for The Sims 4 so that as many people as possible could play it. I don't know if any of you have trouble playing The Sims 4, let me know, but I haven't really heard of it being as much of a problem as previous Sims games. Back to the build. Let's just go off on a tangent sometimes. So we've got a balcony there because I thought it'd be nice to go out on the balcony when it's kind of a summer's day. You can sit up there. And then I wanted to have lots of windows so you could look out at, I believe I'm building this in the city. And I really liked the fact that we've got this mezzanine level and it's kind of like its own balcony inside. And you'll see soon that I put some tables and chairs there. I built this whole bar area with the mirrors and everything because I wanted to have lots of colour, but I didn't want to keep adding so many things onto the wall. So I thought, why don't I just put some mirrors there, because then they will reflect what is already in the room. I then realised that I hadn't left any space for a bathroom and Sims need toilets, as you well know, so we do kind of shift it along a little bit in a minute, and you saw downstairs that I put kind of some sofas along the corridor sort of part, I guess you could call it a corridor, so that people could sit there to put their shoes on. I know they don't actually have to put their shoes on, but you know, in my imagination, if Sims were real people, they would use the sofas to put their shoes on. And actually when I play this game, a lot of Sims just go and sit down there and have a chat. It's become quite a social area. So I was just making the bathrooms here, the toilets, and I wanted to have more than one. And I thought, you know, 2 would be enough because they can queue. There's always a queue at public toilets, isn't there? There always is. Obviously it's notorious, women's toilets are notorious for having the longest queues. I'll leave it up to you to decide why that is, because it's been debated for many years. So just making sure that these toilets are, you know, usable, accessible, put some mirrors in there, because also if you've got your sim here, they might want to just up their charisma skill. I don't know. And now I'm putting in some of the tables, and I really wanted to have some regular size tables and some bar height tables so we could have some stalls. Most of the tables are small, and then I've got like this longer table for longer groups of Sims, for larger groups of Sims who all want to sit and eat together. I feel like this would be a really nice lot for Sims to visit for a date, especially teenage Sims to visit for a date. I think that would be really sweet. Even adults. I mean, my first date with my husband was to a bowling alley. So, you know, and that all turned out fine. More than fine. It all turned out wonderful. So, you know, maybe your Sims romance will blossom in this lot. So I just made sure that all of the chairs were fitting in with the colour scheme up here, but also just looking a little bit different from each other with the swatches there. And then just some artwork on the walls to, you know, make it look a little bit more interesting. And I really do like the bowling pictures that we got with this pack. I do kind of wish that there were some more swatches, but you know, as I was saying, we always wish there was more with any kind of update or pack with The Sims 4. So I should just be happy with what we have. And I'm just making this kind of balcony area out here so that it's a nice place for your Sims to come and chill out if they want to get some fresh air. I also really liked the roofing here. So we have like this slanted roof at the side, and then I think I have another slanted roof at the top, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Roofing can be really hard, but sometimes just having it look a little bit different, like with some diagonals and things like that, it can make it really interesting. So I'm just doing a little bit of landscaping now so that it doesn't look like a building was just built there and then they didn't care about any of the land. And Sims can obviously walk underneath this build to the right there, so maybe it's like a cut through to get places quicker, I don't know, or just somewhere that people like to shelter from the rain. I just thought it made it a little bit more interesting. There I go with the word interesting again. Well, it's a very interesting build. And then just some more trees and things going in there, and I think shortly we will be going to the screenshots. Thank you so much, by the way, to all of you who have started watching my videos. I'm going to really try this year, as I said in one of my previous videos, to get more content on the channel. And I really love playing Sims, so I thought, why not just video what I do and show it to all of you. These are the screenshots. I quite liked it at night. I thought it looked quite cool, and that's probably when a lot of Sims will go and visit. So this is just one of my Sims walking through. So you can see this kind of indoor balcony level, and lots of Sims showed up to bowl. I did, because this was a lounge, one of the requirements was that you had to have an instrument and a microphone, I think. So you will see if you download it that there is an instrument and a microphone just kind of tucked in the corner. I don't know if they're really usable, but they're just there kind of more as decoration. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It really helps out the channel, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will chat to you soon.